Hey everyone, I'm Dan, and welcome to Disney Decoded. In 1998, Disney closed one of Magic Kingdom's most beloved opening day attractions, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and replaced it with Winnie the Pooh. But here's what most guests don't realize: Disney didn't just swap one ride for another. They inherited one of the most unusual building footprints in Fantasyland and had to engineer a completely new ride system inside. Today, we're decoding how Disney turned Mr. Toad's Wild Ride into one of Fantasyland's most efficient and cleverly engineered dark ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride closed on September 7th, 1998, after 27 years as a Magic Kingdom opening day attraction. Winnie the Pooh opened in its place on June 5th, 1999. But the building Disney inherited wasn't straightforward. The Magic Kingdom's version of Mr. Toad was genuinely unique. It had two completely separate boarding areas with two entirely different track paths. Depending on which queue you entered, you experienced a different ride. One path took you through the countryside, the other through Toad Hall Library. Both ended in the same place, a tongue-in-cheek depiction of Toad's less than dignified final destination. That dual track layout created a complex and irregular building footprint. Disney's challenge was taking a space designed for two separate simultaneously ride experience and retrofitting it with a single continuous flowing ride system. The solution was to design a track path that winds tightly back on itself through the existing space, which is why the ride feels so dense. You are constantly surrounded by scenery because the track is packed efficiently into a building that was never originally designed for this specific configuration. I can't say S words for some reason. I'll get there eventually. Most guests assume that bouncing is just a trick of the track. It isn't. Disney classifies these as motion enhanced vehicles. While the ride uses a standard continuous chain-driven track, the chassis of the honeypots contain a custom motion system built directly into the vehicle. This allows the car to tilt, roll, and bounce independently of the track's linear path. But here's the decoder secret. Because the motion is contained within the vehicle's own chassis, rather than being forced by the track, Disney can actually disable it. There is a specific accessible vehicle in the fleet where cast members can turn off the bouncing and rolling effects entirely for guests with medical sensitivities. It's a brilliant bit of inclusive engineering. The motion is built in, but it's not mandatory for every car. Unlike some dark rides that use a constant motion system, Winnie the Pooh uses a dispatch-based loading system. The vehicles stop completely to allow guests to board safely and comfortably. However, Disney manages guest flow by precisely timing the release of each honeypot from the station. By keeping the interval between vehicles tight and consistent, they ensure that the ride maintains high hourly capacity without needing the complex moving walkways found in older Omnimover attractions. The audio system uses track-based encoders that detect vehicle positions along the ride path, triggering precise playback of voice tracks and sound effects timed to each vehicle's location. This is how the dialogue and music stay synchronized with what you're seeing, even though vehicles are spread throughout the building at different positions simultaneously. Disney's Imagineers paid careful tribute to the attraction Winnie the Pooh replaced. Inside Owl's house, look at the painting on the wall. It shows Mr. Toad himself handing over the deed to the home to Owl. It's a direct acknowledgement that Toad's space now belongs to someone else. There's also a portrait of Pooh greeting Molly, one of Mr. Toad's companions, on the floor nearby. There's also a lesser-known nod to another extinct Magic Kingdom attraction, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In the treehouse play area outside the ride, carvings include the Nautilus submarine, two extinct attractions honored in one queue. And outside the ride entirely, in a different area, In the pet cemetery near the Haunted Mansion's exit, there's a small statue of Mr. Toad among the headstones. A quiet Imagineering joke about the fate of the ride that didn't survive the transition. So wait, does that mean there will never be a Mr. Toad's ride in Disney World again? I don't know. So these details reward the guests who know the history. They're easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for, but not like the subscribe and like buttons. They're pretty easy to find, so... The many adventures of Winnie the Pooh is easy to overlook as a simple ride for young guests. From an engineering standpoint, it's a space-constrained retrofit that solved a generally complex problem, while adding motion technology that makes the bouncing feel alive rather than mechanical. And it quietly honors not one but two distinct attractions in ways most guests walk right past every single day. Next time you're in the Tigger scene, pay attention to when exactly the bounce kicks in. That's not the track. That's the vehicle itself deciding it's time to move. If you were an Imagineer tasked with replacing a classic ride, what piece of the old attraction would you save as a tribute? Let me know in the comments and be sure you're subscribed with notifications on and you'll see me in the next video.